I don't know what it is with Europe, but if we look at the big picture here now, it's like Mancini historically hasn't got a great record in Europe. And there just seems to be something about the way he sets the team up when we play in Europe that doesn't get the best out of the side. And I don't know whether he's always seems to be managing with the next game. Do you know what I mean? He's always picking a side. He'll pick a side tonight with the next game in mind. I mean, Dzeko gave a very good impression of why he's not in the starting 11 every week tonight. Do you know what I mean? We should always start with Tevez and Aguero and have Dzeko coming off the bench. And I think he's got to carry the can for this one, Mancini, because we were all over the place at one point. All over the place.
No, I remember your first game in Europe against Napoli at the Etihad, and it was a similar kind of game, I felt, where you just didn't seem to be able to deal with the breakaways, certainly on Napoli. And I'm going back over your results last season in the Champions League. There weren't too many games, actually, that I felt that you were really in it. Villarreal 3-0 away. I know you beat Bayern Munich, but it was all dead and buried by then. But away from home, you've only won one game away from home.
You know what? I can't remember us having one decent game in the entire time we've been qualified for Europe. And that goes for the Europa League as well. I don't remember us coming away from one any night thinking we've arrived. And I don't know what it is. And, Mancini, bless him, doesn't have a great record, so there's something fundamentally wrong somewhere. Whether he tries to get his teams to do something different because it's Europe. I always think City should just go out and forget the opposition. We're the champions of England. Just go and play, and up until we scored there tonight, they were giving us the runaround. We couldn't get the ball off them, and we don't play like that every week in England. And it's not like when we come up against big teams, we kind of go into our shell, because you beat all the big teams in England, and they're like the best teams in Europe. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know what it is. Maybe the tactics get too complicated.
Well, let's talk the tactics now. I want to play you this. Excuse me. I know you've not heard it. This is Michael Richards. Was spoken to after the game, because obviously when City went chasing the game, excuse me, Mancini changed it from a flat back 4 to 3 at the back. And this is Michael Richards' reaction to that tactical change right after the final whistle.
They was probably the better team, but in the second half we just crumbled. Once the second goal went in, they always looked like we was going to win, but I'm very disappointed with the way the lads performed tonight.
The defence also looked very uncertain when you went to a back 3, were you?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we've not worked on a lot. We're used to a straight back 4, so it's twice we've gone to a back 5 and conceded, but the manager likes it, and if you want to do well in it, we're going to have to work on it a little bit more.
But do the players like it?
The players just want to play. It's a hard system because we're not used to it, but I think the players prefer, a 4-4-2, but, he's a manager and we'll do what he says.
Now, Jay made a good point afterwards when we first played that out, Noel, that if you're chasing the game, you've got to make changes, which I agree with. But the thing I'm surprised about is Michael Richards says we're not used to it. Surely as a manager, that's something you would practice on the training ground.
Well, when the season started, and we all went up to Villa Park to watch the Charity Shield, and there was toys were coming out and going, we're playing with a back 3. Everybody that we went with, everybody that was around, all City fans were looking at each other going, why are we messing about with it? We've just won the league. Why is he messing about with playing a back 3? It was unbelievable. But anyway, we won that game. That maybe gave him a bit of vindication to carry on. But it's like I say, there seems to be a lot of tinkering going on at the moment that doesn't need be. But we're missing Nigel de Jong for sure to win the ball back for us when we don't get it. But I'm not surprised the players don't. What on earth was Clichy doing at centre back at one point? He gave the second goal away. Do you know what I mean? You look when they were making changes, he should have took Dzeko off. Never mind taking Lesko off. I thought that was insane. It looked for about 15 minutes when the game was lost in that 15-minute spell where they scored. I was watching it with my head in my hands, thinking, is this the same team? That even played on Saturday at Villa. At Fulham. Or wherever we were. Where were we?
At the weekend, you were at West Brom.
Yeah.
West Brom.
I was thinking, is this the same team? And I don't know whether things get a bit overcomplicated in Europe. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know whether you saw it, Noel. On Sky Sports News today, you probably didn't. They were showing that what his work he was doing last night, and the work that he was doing was shape. A back four, the midfield as well, with a five, with Yaya Toure playing that number 10, and everyone was shuffling across, and it was going to deny Ajax space. It was going to make sure that they didn't give them any space in behind and down the flanks. It didn't work, because I thought they had so much joy down the flanks. They were getting in behind far too easily, and you could see that Mancini knew that was going to be a problem, but couldn't stop it.
Well, I mean, I was watching it on Sky myself, and Tyler was saying that they targeted Clichy. I was playing left back where they were kind of doubling up on him, and you kind of got Aguero is forced to track back, and that's not his game, you know. And I don't care what anybody says, is if you don't have Tevez on the pitch, we're a completely different side, because the defence starts with him. Do you know what I mean? And Dzeko's not going to do any tracking back. Aguero, it's not in his game. Nasri's not the best at it. I just think I would have played Tevez tonight. Disregard Swansea on Sunday or whenever it is. We beat them anyway. Do you know what I mean? But I just think I don't know. He went with the wrong team tonight. But it's a worrying thing, you know, because he's kind of in 10 years his record in Europe is pretty bad, you know. But
when you look
and what's worse is after the Dortmund game, he said he knew what the problem was and he was going to sort it out. It doesn't look like it.
When you look at the Group D now, you're bottom of it with.
We're out now. I really only hope the only saving thing that can help us now is if we come bottom of the group and don't have to go through.
Do you know what? That's exactly what I said. The last thing City fans will want is playing on a Thursday night.
It's
without a doubt.
I would literally put out the players' youngest children in City kits to make sure that we don't get in the Europa League, because you don't want that.
And he must know that. Mancini must know that, mustn't he?
Of course, but no one would ever say it. I'd say the players would say it as well. You know, as players, if you go out of the Champions League and the Europa League, you're suddenly very deflated. We looked abysmal into the Europa League last year, but you know to get through, what we've got to do, we're in the knockout stages now anyway. We've got to beat Dortmund and Ajax and Real Madrid.
Yeah. But also,
I don't think that's going to happen, and I don't think Madrid will lose another game. So I think we should wave it goodbye. And Europa League, forget that.
What it also means now is next season, if you obviously qualify for the Champions League, which I'm sure you will, you're not going to be seeded in it.
Coefficients, that just remains the same.
So you'll probably end up with another group similar to this.
Yeah, well, you can't see it getting any. I mean, we're a very, very inexperienced club in Europe, and Mancini he's got Champions League experience, but it's not. Instead, it a lie. And there must be. To me, it's all tactical. Looking at the players tonight, I don't think anybody played particularly badly. Do you know what I mean? I don't think anybody played particularly badly.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Dzeko is not the man you want in a away leg in a Champions League game. It's all right coming on the sub with the 2-1.
He's come on and done it as a sub, so why change it?
It's so much easier to do that, isn't it, to come on a sub? You know, you get Tevez.
He might not like the super sub tag and all that, but unfortunately, if he keeps coming on and scoring goals, that's what's going to happen. I wouldn't have started him. It's like watching the North East derby on Sunday. If there was ever a scenario of why Adam Johnson was sold, it was on Sunday. He did nothing in that game. Big game, nothing. He might as well not turned up. Do you know what I mean? That's why he was sold. And you get all the pundits and the thing, oh, no, they should start these players. He's got 6 goals in this game and he's a great winger and all that. They're not that good. That's why they don't play. Do you know what I mean? But I don't think Dzeko should start away from home. I just don't think him and Aguero don't have the understanding that Tevez and Aguero do as regards to keeping the ball involved in the midfield. You know, I think Dzeko's found his place in the team. He might not like it, but that's what it is. You know, but I think, you know, I look at the players and I don't think anybody particularly had a bad game. I don't think anybody had a great game, but no one had a bad game. I think Mancini's got to carry the can tactically on this one.
Yeah, I agree. No, listen, as always, thank you.